Morgen. We had about a 2-hour drive from Vienna and we're outside the city of Wies. So we're about an hour and a half now away from Hallstatt, which is where we're taking our day trip today. We're in a small van, so there's about 7 of us, which is really nice to keep this small tour. Hallstatt is supposed to be this like picture perfect lakeside in a valley, mountains around town. So hopefully we have good weather. Right now the weather's still holding up, but it might rain today. Right outside of Attersee, which is not too far from Hallstatt in the lake community. It is so beautiful. May 1st in Austria, it's Labor Day, and it's also the day where they put up the maypole. So we've seen a couple of maypoles as we travel through these cute little towns. Our tour guide, Marcos, was saying that they get the strongest men in the town. The men drink a couple of beers, and then they just put up this pole, which it's really big. I've never actually seen a maypole before. I've heard of it, and I didn't really know that it was a real thing, but what do you know? Learn something new.
Famous Austrian painter Gustav Klimt used to spend summers here at the lake, and a lot of his paintings were from here in Unterach. And if you've seen Woman in Gold, then you know about Gustav Klimt.
Well, we also saw Woman in Gold in real life in the New Gallery in Manhattan. It's literally down the block from our house, so it rocks.
This is our first time being in the Alps, and even though it sounds so basic, it really has reminded us of the sound of music. I mean, we're right outside of Salzburg, which is where that was filmed, so it makes sense, but it does feel like the hills are alive.
To another lake called Lake Wolfgang, and this is actually where they shot the opening scenes of Sound of Music, going over this little town, this lake, and it's so picture perfect. Oh my gosh. So after getting a great view from above of the town of St. Gergens, we are now inside. We're doing a little walkabout, and this is actually where Mozart's mother was born. So they call Salzburg Mozart City. They call St. Gergens Mozart Town.
Mozart is big business here in Austria. Basically anywhere that Mozart was is now a tourist destination. Houses dedicated to him, museums, fountains. He's a popular dude here in Austria.
We heard that he was a bit of a potty mouth and he loved dirty jokes like toilet humor. Weird fact, I guess funny, is that his mom was also a huge fan, so they would write correspondence back and forth to each other of these like really ridiculous jokes. So it's kind of interesting to think that someone who has been like a protege of music since he was 5 years old also has this humor of a 5-year-old. And every stop along the way, every little town we made it to was like more beautiful and more beautiful than the next. This is just unreal. It's all these houses on the mountain, the lake right below it, and the town is super cute. We're gonna do an hour-long walking tour with a local guide here, and then we'll have a couple of hours of free time, so we'll probably get lunch, a glass of wine, maybe a beer. Then our plan at the end is to go up on the funicular to the top of the mountain to get a view looking down. We are walking right now on this super narrow path which our tour guide Christiana was telling us would be what the locals have to walk. Cars do not fit up here, as you can tell. Say they have groceries, park their car down the hill, and then take everything with them. It's kind of like our 4-floor apartment walk up in Manhattan. Across the lake was built in the 17th century by apparently this very not nice man, very wealthy though, so he could do whatever he wanted. But then they had to, after he died, every 50 years, his last dying wish was to take his body out of the crypt and parade him around the town. So they did that for 3 times, 150 years.
Nobody really wanted to do this, but since he donated a lot of money to the church, they felt like they had to. Classic.
A lot of the houses here you have to enter through the attic because when the houses were built there wasn't a sidewalk or a path down by where the front of the house would be. Easy to clean out the gutters though. I can't even say it's beautiful enough times. Like I could say it 100 times and you just like wouldn't be able to understand the true beauty and just awe of this place. I'm so excited. We still have like 2 more hours to explore a little bit, to enjoy, to feel what it's like to live here because there's only 730 residents who live here. That's it. That's smaller than my high school. I mean, if you're coming to Austria, like you have to come here. I feel like this is going to be our highlight of our entire trip. Very quaint, very charming, and this isolated, perfect little spot in Austria.
It's so picturesque and perfect that actually in a town in China, they completely recreated the town market. So there's an exact replica of this town square in China, which is crazy.
We just had a lovely lunch on the market square, had some wine, some beers. Ooh, look, swans. Anyways, now we are heading to the funicular. The swans are going crazy now. Oh my God. To get a view from the top of the mountain of Hallstatt. So one last thing before we have to leave to go back to Vienna. Should be a great view. Oh my God, look at these swans.
We're going to this look over bridge thing, but the hills are alive. Look at this hill. It's so green. Can you hear that? It's the sound of music. So the forecast called for rain all day today, but we really ended up with the most lucky, beautiful, sunny day. And it rained for like a second and it was sunny. But it's absolutely beautiful, and I feel like it's the best way we could have seen Hallstatt. It's just the most picturesque town you could ever imagine. We're in love.